Gold, that magic word. It has the power to ignite dreams and fuel ambitions. Throughout history, the allure of gold has driven people to the ends of the earth, seeking fortune and adventure. It makes folks do crazy things. The promise of untold wealth can turn the most rational individuals into frenzied treasure hunters, willing to risk everything for a chance at striking it rich. Like, say, packing up and heading to the frozen butt of nowhere during the Klondike Gold Rush. In the late 1890s, thousands of prospectors braved the harsh conditions of the Yukon Territory, driven by the hope of finding gold. Skagway, Alaska, a tiny town clinging to the edge of the Alaskan wilderness, became the gateway to those golden dreams. It was the starting point for many hopeful miners, a bustling hub of activity and anticipation. Problem was, the journey was brutal, and not everyone who landed in Skagway was cut out for the treacherous trek to the gold fields. The Chilkoot Trail and White Pass were infamous for their grueling conditions, testing the limits of even the most determined adventurers. Enterprising folks saw an opportunity. Where there were prospectors, there was a market for goods and services. From selling supplies to offering lodging, many found ways to profit from the gold rush without ever panning for gold themselves. And none were more enterprising than Jefferson Randolph Smith, better known as Soapy Smith. A notorious con man, Soapy saw the gold rush as the perfect stage for his schemes. He set up shop in Skagway, using his charm and cunning to swindle unsuspecting miners out of their hard-earned money. Soapy's most famous scam involved a bar of soap. He would wrap bars of soap in money, then sell them to the crowd, promising that one lucky buyer would find a $100 bill inside. Of course, his gang members were the ones who won the big prizes, while the real customers were left with nothing but soap. Eventually, Soapy's luck ran out. His reign of deception came to a violent end in a shootout with vigilantes in 1898. But his legacy lives on as a symbol of the wild, unpredictable nature of the gold rush era. Today, Skagway stands as a testament to the dreams and schemes of those who sought fortune in the frozen north. Visitors can walk the same streets, hear the same stories, and feel the echoes of the past in this historic town. The siren song of gold continues to captivate, reminding us of the lengths people will go to chase their dreams. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales from history. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Soapy Smith wasn't your average con man. He had charisma, he had style. He could charm the nuggets off a sourdough's beard. Arriving in Skagway in 1897, Soapy quickly grasped the lay of the land. Thousands of stampeders, loaded with gold fever and cash, were ripe for the picking. Soapy, a master manipulator, saw Skagway as his personal gold mine. He assembled a gang of confidence men, card sharps, and all-around shady characters. They were about to give Skagway a reputation it wouldn't soon forget. Soapy's signature con? The soap cell. Simple, really. He'd set up a soapbox on a busy street corner. Out came the smooth talk, the jokes, the promises. This wasn't just soap, folks. This was magic soap. Cure your ills, grow your hair, find gold. He'd wrap ordinary bars of soap in bills, from ones to hundreds. The crowd, caught up in the frenzy, would buy these priceless bars. Of course, once unwrapped, it was just plain old soap. Soapy, meanwhile, was laughing all the way to the bank. The soap scam was just the tip of the iceberg. Soapy Smith, a notorious con artist, had a knack for turning the most mundane items into tools of deception. His infamous soap scam, where he sold bars of soap with the promise of hidden cash prizes, was just the beginning of his elaborate schemes. But Skagway, Alaska, was where his true empire of shenanigans flourished. Soapy and his gang ran Skagway like their own personal fiefdom. They had their fingers in every pie, controlling the town's economy and manipulating its residents. From the moment you stepped off the boat, you were entering Soapy's domain. His network of criminals ensured that no one could escape his grasp. The town was a web of deceit, with Soapy pulling the strings from the shadows. They had rigged card games, fake businesses, and even a telegraph office that never sent a single message. Need a job? Soapy's employment agency would happily take your money and send you on a wild goose chase. The telegraph office was a particularly clever ruse, giving the illusion of communication while keeping everyone in the dark. It was all part of Soapy's grand design to keep the town under his control. Soapy's employment agency would happily take your money and send you on a wild goose chase. Desperate job seekers would pay a fee only to be sent on pointless errands that led nowhere. It was a cruel trick preying on the hopes and dreams of those looking for a better life. But in Soapy's world, everyone was a potential mark, and no one was safe from his schemes. Looking for a little companionship in this wild town? Soapy's saloon girls were more than happy to relieve you of your gold dust. The saloons were a hub of activity, where men could find temporary solace in the company of women. But even this was a trap, as the saloon girls were part of Soapy's network, skilled in the art of separating men from their money. It was a dangerous game, and Soapy always came out on top. Soapy's saloon girls were more than happy to relieve you of your gold dust. They were experts in the art of seduction, using their charms to lure men into spending their hard-earned gold. The saloons were filled with laughter and music, but beneath the surface, it was a world of deception and betrayal. Soapy's empire thrived on the misery of others, and he reveled in his role as the puppet master. Skagway was a con man's paradise, and Soapy was the king. His reign over the town was marked by cunning and ruthlessness, as he exploited every opportunity to enrich himself at the expense of others. The town's history is forever intertwined with the legacy of Soapy Smith, a man who turned deception into an art form. In the end, Skagway was a testament to the power of one man's ambition and the lengths he would go to achieve it. Now, every good story needs a hero. Enter Frank Reed, a lawman with a handlebar mustache that could stop a runaway sled dog. Reed had Soapy's number. He knew Soapy was bad news, but proving it was another matter. Soapy was cunning. He controlled the local government, the newspapers, even the judge. He was untouchable. Reed, however, wasn't giving up. He was determined to bring Soapy down, no matter the cost. Tensions reached a boiling point on July 8, 1898. A group of vigilantes, fed up with Soapy's shenanigans, decided to take matters into their own hands. They planned to run Soapy out of town. Word reached Soapy, and he wasn't going down without a fight. Armed with a Winchester rifle, he confronted the vigilantes on the Skagway wharf. Frank Reed, caught in the middle, tried to keep the peace. It was a tense standoff, the air thick with anticipation. Shots rang out. The air was thick with tension, the kind that only comes when two men are about to face their ultimate fate. The echoes of gunfire reverberated through the narrow streets of Skagway, Alaska, a town that had seen its fair share of lawlessness and chaos. The details are still debated to this day. Historians and enthusiasts alike pore over old newspapers and court records, trying to piece together the truth from the fragments left behind. Was it a fair fight, or was there more to the story than meets the eye? Some say Soapy drew first, his hand quick as lightning, fueled by years of living on the edge. He was a man who thrived on the thrill of the con, always one step ahead of those who sought to bring him down. Others claim he was merely defending himself, a victim of circumstance caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse. The courtroom battles that followed were as fierce as the gunfight itself, with both sides presenting compelling arguments. What we do know is this: the final chapter of Soapy Smith's life was written in blood. His tombstone stands as a silent witness to the violent end of a man who lived by his own rules. Soapy Smith and Frank Reed, two men whose lives were intertwined by fate and fortune, met their end on that fateful day. Reed, a local hero, and Smith, the notorious con man, were forever bound by their final confrontation. Two icons of the Klondike Gold Rush. Their stories are emblematic of the wild and unpredictable nature of the era. The rush for gold brought out the best and worst in people, and these two men were no exception. They lay dead on the Skagway wharf, a place that had seen countless dreams born and shattered. The wharf was more than just a dock. It was a stage where the drama of the gold rush played out in real time. Both men died with their boots on, a testament to their rugged determination and the harsh realities of frontier life. In the end, they were just two more casualties in a land that took no prisoners. Forever linked in Skagway's history, their story is a reminder of the thin line between hero and villain and how quickly fortunes can change in the blink of an eye. The reign of Soapy Smith, a man who built an empire on deception and charm, came to a dramatic end. His schemes and swindles had made him a legend, but even legends have their day of reckoning. The king of the Klondike conmen, as he was known, had finally met his match. The cards he had so often dealt to others were now turned against him, and his luck had run out, was over. But his legend, much like the gold that lured so many to this wild land, was just beginning. Stories of his exploits would be told and retold, growing grander with each passing year. Much like the gold that lured so many to this wild land was just beginning. The allure of the Klondike, with its promises of untold riches and adventure, would forever be intertwined with the name Soapy Smith. His story, a blend of fact and fiction, continues to captivate and intrigue, a testament to the enduring power of legend. Soapy's death didn't exactly bring peace and tranquility to Skagway. See, the thing about frontier justice is, it ain't always pretty. Turns out, a lot of folks weren't too happy with the vigilantes taking the law into their own hands. They saw Soapy, for all his faults, as a colorful character, a symbol of the wild, untamed spirit of the Klondike. The vigilantes? Well, they skedaddled out of town pretty quick, fearing retribution. Soapy might have been a crook, but he was their crook. Today, Soapy Smith is a legend in Skagway. He's the subject of books, documentaries, even a musical. They have a Soapy Smith museum, for crying out loud. Tourists flock to Skagway to walk the same wooden sidewalks as the infamous con man, to hear tales of his exploits, to buy Soapy Smith souvenirs. It's ironic, ain't it? The man who swindled folks out of their hard-earned cash is now a major tourist attraction. Guess that's the power of a good story. Skagway ain't the Wild West town it used to be. Gone are the saloons and gambling dens. Today it's all cruise ships and souvenir shops. But walk down those streets, and you can almost hear the echoes of Soapy's booming voice, promising riches and peddling his magic soap. History, like a good con man, has a way of sticking with you. And Soapy Smith, well, he's become an integral part of Skagway's story. So, was Soapy Smith a villain or a folk hero? Depends who you ask. Some folks see him as a ruthless criminal who preyed on the weak and desperate. Others view him as a charming rogue, a product of his time, a symbol of the lawlessness of the Klondike Gold Rush. Truth is, he was probably a little bit of both. But one thing's for sure, Soapy Smith left an indelible mark on Skagway, a town that still grapples with his legacy over a century later. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from history.